Hi there! So, if there's one thing Nintendo treasure, it's their copyright. For years now, they've been extremely, proactive when it comes to protecting their intellectual property. In fact, they're sort of infamous for issuing takedown requests, which are legal demands to remove Nintendo's copyrighted content from a website or publication. But what if an opponent came along that Nintendo couldn't take down? An opponent too huge, too powerful. Like a government. But wait, there's more. What if it was something even more powerful than a government? What's more powerful than a government, I hear you ask? Why, two governments, of course. Yes, today I'd like to share two stories of Nintendo's intellectual property being stolen by two different governments. We're in for a wild ride today, folks. Let's take a look. So first, the US government. Now, if you didn't know, the US government agency in charge of environmental matters is called the EPA, or Environmental Protection Agency. And the EPA has had an active online presence since the mid-90s. Check out this fossil of a bygone era. So the way the EPA, and thus their website, worked was that it was split up into a number of different regions. And on Earth Day 1997, Region 9, which covered Arizona, California, Hawaii, Nevada, and a bunch of Pacific Islands, this region came up with an idea. They called it Recycle City. Here's what the homepage looked like all the way back then. If we enter Recycle City, we can see it's an actual place we can look around. We can travel to each of the main areas and complete activities there. Now, the aim of this Recycle City site was to show children what effect recycling can have on the environment. And the jewel in the crown that was Recycle City was this game, Dumptown. Here's the description. Welcome, you are Dumptown's new city manager. When you start to play, you'll see Dumptown at its worst. It's littered, polluted, and nothing is being recycled or reused. There are many trash cans and dumpsters, but no recycling bins. That means all of the trash is going right into the landfill just outside town, where it isn't doing anyone any good. In your new position, you can start programs that encourage Dumptown's citizens and businesses to recycle and reduce waste. As you can see, this game is actually very complex. If you consider that the game was released in 1997, this is really impressive. Now, when Recycle City was brought to life back then, it was a truly cutting-edge website. However, as the years went by, it really didn't see a whole lot of updating, and began to look more and more dated. And so, at the end of 2011, the site got a big fancy overhaul. It had snazzy graphics, maps, links to social media, what a difference. And pride of place at the side here is everyone's favourite Dumptown. However, the EPA wasn't content with stopping here, and so in January of 2017, they added a brand new game. It was called the Recycle City Challenge. What was this game? Well, let's take a look. So first, we're greeted by this beautifully designed title screen. Alright, let's take the plunge and click that Let's Get Started button. And, oh, what's that? You hear that music in the background? Does that sound a little familiar? Well, it's actually a cover of a song from Yoshi's Island DS, the underground music to be specific. Isn't that weird? They're not even subtle about it. In the game's files, the music is called Yoshi DS Underground.mp3. Here's a comparison between the two songs. Here's the original, and here's the one from Recycle City. Again, here's the original and the Recycle City version. They're almost identical, isn't that weird? Now, this lay undiscovered on Recycle City's site for just over 2 years, when it was discovered by Twitter account Forest of Illusion. From there, countless news stories were published about this weird phenomenon, with headlines like, EPA teaches kids to recycle by using old Nintendo music illegally, and the EPA stole music from Yoshi's Island DS for a pro-recycling flash game. Now, what was the EPA's response? Well, they stated, the Recycle City Challenge game was created for EPA by a contractor. We are looking into whether the contractor received permission to use the music to the extent permission was necessary in this instance. Now, I think it's pretty unlikely this contractor did receive permission from Nintendo to put a song from one of their largest and most important franchises into a weird US government recycling game. But we'll never truly know. However, this song mysteriously vanished from the game only a day after the news broke, which sounds a little like an admission of guilt to me. It's a bit of a shame though. It would have been extremely entertaining to see Nintendo sue the US government. Now, that's actually not the only time something like this has happened. The Chinese government has done a very similar thing, albeit a lot more brazenly. Yes, on the 30th of January 2019, China's Supreme People's Court uploaded this video to their official Weibo account. That's basically Chinese Twitter. And, I mean, look at it. What even is this? Now, the game's purpose was to promote all the successful prosecutions the court had in the previous year. All the corruption stopped, all the criminals caught, and all the innocent prisoners freed. Now, I think that the Chinese government and I probably have some differing opinions about what counts as justice served, but let's check out this video then, shall we? So, the game appears to be called Super Mario Mr. Judge 2018, and it features Mario. Well, kind of Mario. Something went a little wrong here with Mario's appearance. At any rate, I think it's safe to assume this is meant to be Mario in one form or another. Now, Mario begins his adventure through the Mushroom Kingdom, but this ain't no regular Mushroom Kingdom. It starts out fairly regularly, albeit featuring some pretty jerky animation. However, instead of collecting coins, Mario collects these coloured squares, which have legal-related terms written on them. The bootleg weirdness continues though, with Mario exclaiming, "Wow, cool," in the voice of Bart Simpson. Interesting. Next, Mario jumps up this tower of umbrellas, which say, "Protect Equality" on them. Protect equality, huh? Now, continuing his travels, Mario encounters a tiger. A tiger, you say? Well, in China, tigers represent large, powerful, and corrupt officials. After the tiger come the flies, which, yeah, that also represents something. In this case, the lower level corrupt government employees. And, alright, that's level 1 completed. I'm not going to go through everything because this video is surprisingly long, but here's some weird moments to come. Firstly, there's this encounter with these, I'm not even sure, samurai, maybe? After that, there's this pretty gruesome scene featuring a man in a bandana running over and, I think, killing a bunch of children. Yeesh. Luckily, the police soon arrive, arresting him and bringing him to court. Woohoo! It's almost like those children didn't die. And with that, level 2 is complete. From there, the art takes a pretty sharp downward turn. Not sure what happened there. And all these trees are being all creepy. Ooh, don't like the way they're looking at me. Mario jumps off screen and a giant foot stomps down, revealing that the tree people were actually criminals. How could they? Mario goes on to get rid of illegal fishing, returning peace to the fish populations, plus he frees all these toads encased in ice, which I'm guessing represent wrongfully convicted criminals? Oh, this next part is pretty hilarious. Mario collects all these coins with the words copyright infringement on them, representing all the copyright infringement the Chinese government has prevented. I think the irony here should be pretty immediately apparent. And finally, Mario reaches the last flagpole of his bootleg Chinese criminal catching journey. So, how did that go down with viewers? Like a ton of bricks. Japanese internet users responded, did they actually get permission for this? Just what were they thinking? Plus, examine yourself before making stuff like this. So yeah, not a great reaction. Now, China's court didn't give a formal response to this outrage, or at least I can't seem to find one. However, the very same day this news broke, the promotional video mysteriously vanished from the High Court social media page. Isn't that interesting? Again, it's a little bit of a shame. It would have been even more entertaining to watch Nintendo sue the Chinese government. So, what conclusion can we draw from both of these incidents? What moral is there to the story? I'm not sure there is one, really. It is pretty entertaining, though. I guess it just goes to show that basically everyone has violated a copyright or two at some point in their lives, powerful governments included. Whether only a little bit of a violation, like the Recycle game, or blatant brazen infringement, like with the China High Court, copyright is broken by everyone across the world. Maybe that's a sign that copyright law is broken, eh? Uh-oh, I think Mickey over here might have something to say about that. Gotta run! Hi there! Thanks for watching to the end. I hope you found that interesting. If you want to hear another story of Nintendo brushing with copyright, though this time they're on the other side of the table, check out my video on Zelda and the copyright incident. Otherwise, I'll see you next week, and if you're not subscribed, be sure to do that so you see that video. Okay, bye!